back to my kitchen. I'm Emily Barre from New Orleans, and today the Real Women of Philadelphia want to show you how to use cream cheese in your entrees. The recipe I'd like to prepare for you is a spinach and artichoke topped chicken. Before I start my artichoke dip, I have chicken tenderloins that I'm marinating in my favorite marinade. You can use your marinade of choice, whether it's garlic and herb or just a Kraft Italian salad dressing. So while this is marinating, we're going to get started on our dip. We're making a spinach and artichoke basic dip that's going to be the topping to our chicken. So I have a stick of butter that is in my skillet melting beautifully. And to that I'm going to add 1 chopped onion. We're going to let the onion saute for a little bit just so it gets nice and soft, lose a lot of the onion flavor. We don't want it crunchy. You want this to be a smooth part of the dip. You want the flavor that's in the dip, but you don't want the harshness of the crunch of the onion. So with the silicone spatula, I'm going to move it around a little bit into the butter. And while this is working, I'll tell you a little bit about this dish. My children absolutely love spinach and artichoke dip. If they could have it for dinner, they would. So my thought was, why not have it for dinner? Let's turn this into the vegetable. So we did our favorite spinach and artichoke dip that features the Philadelphia cream cheese. And once our chicken was ready, we would take the chicken and we'd pour the spinach artichoke dip on top and then garnish it with a little fresh tomato. So the spinach artichoke dip became the vegetable for the meal for the evening. As you can see, after about 5 minutes of sauteing the onions, they're getting nice and transparent, very wilty, very aromatic. It smells wonderful. So it's about time to start to assemble our dip. First thing going in is family bag size of spinach. It's about 28 ounces of frozen spinach that has been defrosted and wrung out nice and dry. And you want to make sure you wring all that excess water out of that spinach, because if not, it's going to water down your dip. So I like to put my spinach, after it's been defrosted, in paper towels. I lay out a lot of paper towels this way, and then I have another row of paper towels this way. I put the spinach in the paper towels, come up, and then I start to wring, and you're literally wringing it out. I know some people put it in their dish towel, but I don't care for it in my dish towel. So I like putting it in the paper towels and then letting it all the water wring out, because what's happening, basically, we're going to start to heat it through. It's going down into the butter and the onions. I want to work my butter and onions in just so that I know my flavors are nice and distributed. The next thing going to go in will be the cheeses. We are going to add 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. It's been softened, and I guess it's really not necessary, but I find if I soften it by leaving it out at room temperature while I'm doing all my prep work, it makes it easier for the melting of it. So we're going to take and we're going to spread this out evenly. And we're going to start to turn the hot spinach into the cream cheese. When I first started making this dip, after I'd added the spinach, I used to add the cream cheese, the sour cream, everything all at one time. And what I found difficult was that the coolness of the other cheeses and the coolness of the sour cream took away some of the heat of my pan that I was using to melt my cream cheese. So I like to work the cream cheese into the spinach before the rest of the ingredients. And the last ingredient I'm going to add is going to be the artichoke hearts, because I don't want to pummel them to death while I'm trying to blend and fold the rest of the ingredients. Now this is pretty well mixed in. It'll continue to mix as we add the other ingredients, but now the fact that we're going to add the other ingredients and bring the temperature of the pan down a little bit, it's not going to hurt our cheese mixture. So the next thing I'd like to add is I'm going to add, it's a cup of shredded Parmesan and a cup of shredded either Monterey Jack or pepper jack, depending on your taste. My family likes life a little bit spicy, so I went with the pepper jack cheese. We're also going to add 8 ounces of sour cream. And we're going to add 2 tablespoons of hot sauce. And don't be afraid of hot sauce. You can add as much or as little as you like. But the hot sauce, the spinach has no flavor. Spinach is extremely bland, and it's going to taste like whatever you're going to flavor it with. So we want a nice little kick to this. So now we're going to blend and fold all of this together. Now, this is going to make a lot more dip than you're going to need for your chicken. The nice thing is, after it's been baked and prepared and ready, the next night you have it as an appetizer. Okay, we're about ready to start folding in our artichoke hearts. I have quartered artichoke hearts that have been drained. It doesn't matter if you use marinated or if you use the ones in the can packed in water. I choose the marinated ones because I like the little bit of extra olive oil. To me, it's one more level of flavoring that goes in. And now I'm just going to gently fold the artichokes into the spinach and cheese mixture. I am using a silicone spatula, which is heat resistant. That way I get all the sides of the pan scraped nice and clean. I can do a good folding action. It's got a little bit of bend and give to it. Alright, we're going to turn off the fire. And this is now going to go into the casserole dish. Smooth it down, and it's going to bake in a 400-degree oven. It's already cooked. It's a matter of getting nice and warm and bubbly through. So I would say allow about 20 to 30 minutes, which is the time while your chicken is cooking. So while you're getting ready to cook the chicken, put the artichoke dip in. Then once the chicken is prepared, your artichoke dip's ready. It's not on a time schedule. It just has to be nice, warm, and bubbly through. When you come back, we're going to get ready to do our chicken. Welcome back. I've had time to clean up my skillet, clean up my work area, and get ready to put our chicken in. The artichoke dip is in the oven, getting nice and bubbly. And now we're getting ready to put our chicken into our skillet. I have our skillet nice and hot. And I'm not going to cook all my chicken right now. I'm just going to cook what we're going to plate. So I'm going to take out 2 nice tenderloins that have been marinating. So right down in the hot skillet. And while our chicken is cooking, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the garnish top. I have 2 fresh Roma tomatoes cut up. They're beautiful this time of year. The Roma tomatoes aren't as wet and drippy, so they're more meaty and fleshy. So 2 Roma tomatoes are cut up. Into that, I'm going to add fresh basil, kind of cut up nicely. And we're actually going to top it ever so lightly with a little balsamic vinegar. This just brightens and freshens the flavor. And all we're going to do is we're going to toss this. And when we serve the chicken will go down on our plate, topped with the spinach artichoke dip, and then the cool freshness of the tomatoes sits right on top. It looks very pretty, but it's a contrast in taste that's very, very nice. So we'll put this aside now, and let's check on our chicken. These are tenderloins, so they are going to cook fast. Well, that's looking nice. Flip it. Okay, after just about 5 minutes, our chicken is nice and cooked all the way through. I'm going to remove the chicken from the pan. Turn this off. And we're going to try and group it together so that when we put the dip over the top, it's one nice piece. Look at the spinach artichoke dip, how beautiful. We're going to come down and take a nice scoop out of this. And you're going to top the chicken. It is the topping to the chicken. You want that flavor all the way through. Be generous with it. There we go. And then the garnish for the top. Tomato, basil, and balsamic vinegar. And just a touch of vinegar. Don't be scared of the vinegar. It just brightens up the flavors. And this is Emily's chicken topped with spinach and artichoke. I hope you enjoy it as much as my kids do. Keep in mind, the leftovers make a wonderful appetizer for the nights after. And thank you for Kraft Philadelphia cream cheese. I would love to be a real woman of Philly. Thank you.